Hello. Saturday morning. I have a cup of tea. And today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for the last couple of weeks. And that is name calling. Now, not in the bullying sense, although sort of. I actually mean the names and the labels that we give each other and we assign ourselves. And how damaging I think they can be. Not long after I first left home, I had to go to the hospital for an operation, and on my doctor's notes it said senior doctor's daughter. What that probably did was open some doors to the nurses being extra nice and me getting a double portion of ice cream. But I don't think it was fair that I may have got different treatment because of my father's occupation. And here's the thing, as a society, why are we so obsessed with what people do and how much money they make? Now, I realise we live in a capitalist society which holds store and gives people value on the amount of money that they have. But I don't know that that makes people wealthy. That really depends on how you define wealth. Now, I think, as Mr. J and I have said before, we consider ourselves very wealthy. We've got very little money, but we are debt free, we eat incredibly well, we're in a good, loving relationship. Not only have we got pretty much everything we need, we've got an awful lot of the things we want as well. And want and likes are not needs. And we also live a reasonably stress-free life, which in my book makes us really very wealthy indeed. So I don't measure wealth the same way that most people do. But I do understand the value of things and the value of people. These thoughts were sparked again recently by some comments I saw on my Facebook group. And if you're not a member and you'd like to be, links down below. And we were discussing smallholding, which so in the UK a homestead is called a smallholding. And somebody said, I'm not a smallholder yet. I just have a garden and an allotment and grow some vegetables, and I'm hoping to get chickens. Oh, and they're canned and they preserve their food. And I said to them, I'm not entirely sure you're not already smallholding. It's just that the area where you're growing your fruit and veg is not immediately outside your back door. It's off site. I'm not convinced that if you are doing all those things, then you're not actually already a smallholder, homesteader. Because society seems so fixated on labels and naming things and putting things into neat little boxes, we then get trapped by those labels and we get trapped into thinking one thing is better than another. Really, is it? Is it better to have your vegetable plot, like I've got, in a field very close to my back door? And is it really worse to have your vegetable plot 50 yards down the road? But if you've got an allotment close by, surely that's the same thing. Now, I don't know, and I think an awful lot of it is mindset about what it is that you're doing. What made me feel a bit sad was the use of the word only. I only have a garden and an allotment, so I'm not a smallholder. Well, no, in the legal terms, of having a CPH, which is a county parish holding number, you're not a smallholder. But if you're doing all those things, despite the fact that your piece of land might not be right next to your house, are you not doing all those things? I'll say it again. If you're doing all those things, are you not doing all those things? The labelling and the naming and the putting into boxes can really put blinkers on us. If we aspire to be something else or to reach that goal, yes, excellent. Aspiring to reach goals, brilliant. But why would we choose to make those goals something unattainable because of the language we've chosen to use? When I was younger and at the start of a different career, I took some A-levels, and when my results arrived through the post, because in the old days, that's how they arrived. I was on holiday with my mother in America, and so my father opened the letter for me to find out what grades I'd achieved. And he said, "Oh, you got a C. Never mind, next time you'll do better." Now, I was elated. To get into university, I needed a C, and that was all I needed. I didn't need more. And I was like, yes, I've done it. I've got into university to do the degree that I want to do. And I got my first real job in this new career. My father said to me, "Well, it's only a temporary post, but maybe you can get made permanent." Now, I chose to fast track my career by taking short-term contracts one after another within the same organisation. I think I've talked about this before. With nearly every contract, I went up a pay grade and up a notch on the management ladder. So I went from a temporary member of staff covering maternity leave to a permanent member of staff. And then I became a manager. I missed out the deputy manager level altogether, went straight to the management level, and then I went on to a troubleshooting manager, and then I went on to a development manager. And I did that very rapidly, and it wasn't easy, and I had to work really hard at it, and I had to work all day and then come home and study at night, so I actually understood what it was I was supposed to be doing the next day. And I had a really steep learning curve, but I quite like that. However, the point of this is that with each promotion I got, my father would say, "Well done. Won't be long before you're whatever the next point up was on the management scale as he saw it." When I got to working at a regional level, my father said to me, "Oh, well, it won't be too long for," and I just said, "Dad, stop. Don't say any more, because I'm where I want to be. I actually don't want to go any higher up the scale than this, any higher up this supposed scale of success, and I would have completely lost touch with the very reason I was there." So after that, my dad no longer kept saying, "Next thing, next thing, next thing." He accepted that I was exactly where I wanted to be, doing what I wanted to do, and never mind what the social status is, and never mind what somebody has chosen to call it. I think sometimes it's really important, well, I know it is for me, to just take stock and say, where am I? What am I doing? Is this what I want to be doing? And never mind what label society has put on it, or what social construct there is. That what is important is, am I working to my values? Am I doing things the way I believe is right? Is the way I'm doing something hurting anyone else? No? Good. Do I need to do more? Because very often I've found the answer is no. I don't need to do more to make me happy. What I need to do is stop labelling myself. Stop giving myself a job title and defining myself by it. And so what am I? Well, I'm a sister, a mother, a grandmother. I'm a smallholder because I happen to have one. I'm a homesteader because that's how I'm labelled for YouTube. So here I am. I have a whole load of labels. All of them stuck all over me. But it's okay, because none of those labels are ones that I feel are defining me or boxing me in or stopping me from doing something I want to be doing. And I'm comfortable with that. So, what was the point of today's ramble? Well, it's, as always, to put a few thoughts straight in my head and to share them with you. But also to ask you to have a think about those labels that you are assigning yourself, or that you are letting society assign to you, and just wonder, are they stopping you from enjoying what you're doing? Are they stopping you achieving something you want to achieve, or are they just making you feel like you're not achieving what you want to, even though you already are? So what I suggest is that April becomes a label-free month. Don't go taking all the labels off your cans, that won't help. I'm talking about personal labels. Labels and names that we give ourselves or that we allow other people to give us. And just break free of those. You don't necessarily need to do anything different at all, but you may want to think about things differently. Well, that's it from me. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. My cup of tea's gone cold. I need to go and get on with the day. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for the weekend, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you can join me again next time.